Welcome my magical star beings, this is Psychic Siren Tarot and welcome to the channel. In today's reading we're going to be taking a look at what are people's secret thoughts of you. So please be aware that this is a general reading, only take what resonates, leave the rest. Before we get started with your pile selection, I want to give a quick shout out to my sponsor Keen. So this is how my best friend almost ruined my relationship. It started with a missed call from Emily on my boyfriend Kyle's phone at a weird time. Then I saw a missed call from Kyle on Emily's phone as well. I wondered why they'd call each other while I'm at work. My heart raced. I trust them, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. I felt uneasy about Emily before. A year ago, I noticed how she and Kyle seemed to click, sharing jokes and glances that made me uncomfortable. Once I even caught Emily smiling at a message from Kyle, and when I asked him about it, he said it was private. I just dismissed it as paranoia due to my trust issues, but the doubt lingered. The new incident made my old suspicions resurface. Kyle became more secretive, always on his phone, which was unusual for him, and Emily started cancelling plans last minute, which wasn't like her. Everything seemed off and my anxiety grew. I confronted Kyle about the call, but he brushed it off as a mistake. But when I asked Emily, she said she didn't even remember calling at all. Their vague answers made me even more anxious. I needed to know the truth, so that's when I decided to consult with a tarot reader from Keen. I browsed Keen's website, searching for the right psychic for my situation. I found one specializing in relationship readings with great reviews. But it was her energy that caught my attention, so I decided to consult with her, hoping she could reveal the truth. I explained my fears and asked for clarity. As she began typing, I just felt a gnawing anxiety, fearing the truth I might hear. She told me the cards speak of betrayal and my stomach dropped. Then she added, but they also speak of celebration, a union of hearts. Confused and frustrated, I asked, what does that mean? Her vagueness felt like torture. The truth lies in what you choose to see. The betrayal may not be what you think. Sometimes the heart sees what it fears, not what is real, she responded. I left the chat more confused than ever. Over the next few days, her words echoed in my mind, turning every interaction with Kyle and Emily into something sinister. The final straw came when I saw Kyle and Emily together at a coffee shop, speaking in hushed tones. They didn't see me, but I saw enough to confirm the worst. I left in tears. Back home, I felt broken. How could they betray me? But as I paced around, the tarot reader's words returned to me. Celebration? Union of hearts? Could there be another explanation? The next day, I decided to confront them. I know something's going on, I blurted out. Just tell me the truth. Kyle and Emily exchanged a glance, then smiled. We were going to tell you tonight, Emily said softly. Tell me what? I demanded. Kyle pulled out a small velvet box. We've been planning a special anniversary surprise for you. Our 3-year anniversary is next month. Emily helped me because you trust her taste more than mine. My mind reeled as everything fell into place. The strange calls, the secret meetings, the cryptic conversations. It was all for me. I felt a flood of relief and guilt. The tarot reader's words made sense now. The betrayal was actually my own mistrust, twisted by my fears. I hugged them both, tears streaming down my face as the weight of doubt lifted. They've been planning something beautiful for me, not against me. So I realized that sometimes trust means choosing to see love, even when fear blinds you. I hope you enjoyed that little nugget of my personal life, and if you've had thoughts about something you need clarity on, Keen connects you with talented psychics, tarot readers, and astrologers, available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so you can get a reading whenever it suits you. Just create an account and you'll be able to choose from the hundreds of readers who are online right now. Each reader has unique gifts and specialties, so whether you need insights on love, career, or life in general, they can provide deeper understanding and guidance. Choose whichever reader best suits you, and you'll be able to connect with them via phone call or text chat. It's always best to get a personal psychic reading if you'd like more accurate information on your situation, because it is directed only to your energies. Now, here's your chance to get a personalized reading from Keen. As a new customer on Keen, you can try your first 5 minutes for only $1. Go to trykeen.com/psychic-siren-tarot or click the link in my description box below to receive a discount on your first reading. Thank you, Keen, for bringing this partnership opportunity and for sponsoring today's video. That's trykeen.com/psychic-siren-tarot or click the link in my description box below to get your own personalized reading today at a huge discount. So getting back to your pile selection, for pile number 1 we have the Fire Agate Crystal with the Resolve card. For pile number 2 we have Rose Quartz with Divine Love, and for pile number 3 we have Malachite with Cognisance. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile, pick whichever one you are most drawn to. So hopefully by now you have picked a pile. If not, you can pause the video. Once you're done picking a pile, please find the timestamps for your pile in the description box below, and then I'll see you at your reading. Hi there, my pile number 1s. If you chose this Fire Agate Crystal and the Resolve card, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at what are people's secret thoughts of you. So please be aware that this is a general reading, only take what resonates, leave the rest. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can find my email address in the description box below. So your card says Desert Jasper, Vesta, and Resolve. What I felt initially from your pile, just feeling the energy is... Okay, so I felt a lot of throat chakra releases, and what that means to me is there are certain people having secret thoughts of you where they want to say their secret thoughts to you, but they don't. They keep it within. So when I am connecting to someone's energy, I feel the energy of the collective, right? And when I have these kind of energy releases in my throat chakra, it tells me that someone is not speaking up what they're thinking in their mind. So whatever people are thinking, they're not saying to you per se, even though they want to. Okay, so with the Resolve card, I'm seeing an energy here where maybe some people think of apologizing to you in some way, of resolving something with you in some way. Some people want to fix their bad relationship with you. And as I said that, I heard a ringing in my left ear. So these are their secret thoughts, but they never end up actually doing anything. And I'm wondering why. Let's go ahead and pull your cards. Let's get some more information for you. Another thing I see here is you have a lot of angelic presences around you protecting you. So if some people are going to come around you with negative intentions towards you, your angels protect you. And what I'm also seeing is some people aren't ready to face the consequences of their actions, and so your angels protect you from them. Whereas other people, I'm hearing the word cowardly, like they're too cowardly to say sorry to you or to resolve something with you or fix their bad relationship with you. So that is the first secret thought people have of you, where they're not telling you that they want to apologize, that they're sorry for what they've done. It's like they feel shame, yet they feel also cowardly of being able to admit they were wrong in the first place. And that is something I see here. Another secret thought people have of you is that you are in your power in some way. I'm also seeing you being a very nurturing person, yet also being very protective over those you love. You could also have that angelic energy yourself. And also, I do think with those people that want to apologize to you, there's something about you being a little bit dry with them, but for a reason. So, you know, when you don't like somebody and you know that this person is just a waste of your time, you know that this person is just like toxic in some way, so you don't even want to engage with them, you're just dry and cold with them. And that's what I feel. So some of them, they're kind of wondering in their mind, like, I'm in their energy, so that's why I said my. They're kind of wondering in their mind, why is this person being so dry with me? Like, why aren't they engaging with me? Why aren't they treating me the same way they did before? But guess what? They're not going to get the same treatment they did before, because obviously they did something to hurt you in some way, or did something that was wrong to you in some way, because they wouldn't think of apologizing if they didn't do that. So yeah, we have Opal with North Node and expansion, and the secret thoughts of you are that maybe you have expanded to a place where you no longer care about these toxic people, their opinions, or even what they have to say to you. You are essentially repelling their negativity with the hematite here, root chakra and culmination. You're repelling their negativity because it no longer applies to the reality you're living in right now. So their secret thoughts of you are that you're pushing them away. But there's a reason for that. And you are starting to become more secure in yourself with the root chakra. You're starting to create this safe space for yourself where you no longer have to deal with people like that, where that no longer applies to your reality. You no longer want that to be built into your reality, right? So you're repelling that negative energy away from you. You're no longer engaging in it. For some of you, you don't even want apologies from these people. You don't even care about these people. I'm sure a lot of you have clicked off the reading because I'm talking about this, but I'm hearing the, I don't know if it's like a scene from BoJack Horseman, but I think he apologizes to someone in that scene and then they say, no, I don't forgive you. So there's something about them being afraid of apologizing to you and you saying, no, I don't forgive you. I do think that you have expanded in a way, you have grown in a way where you are getting outside of your comfort zone here with the North Node, and people are seeing that. Not just these toxic people from your past, but people are seeing that. And with the cactus here, it's making me think of self-protection, because a cactus has all those spikes. I don't know what you call it. Forgive me for that, but like they have all those spiky things around them, which makes me think of protection, where nobody can come into your space or your energy and sort of like come and provoke you or, anything like that. So you have become a lot more fiery in nature. You have become a lot more powerful in nature. And even these toxic people from your past are scared of you now, scared of your power. And again, it's like they're scared of actually apologizing to you because maybe they know that whatever they did was so bad to you and so painful towards you that maybe they feel they don't deserve your forgiveness. And, some people, this is just my opinion, some people, everyone deserves forgiveness, but you don't have to forgive everybody. That's your choice, If someone did something to you so bad where you feel like you can't forgive them, that's valid and that's okay. You're not God. You're not going to forgive those people. And if you choose to forgive them and send them love from afar, that's also your choice. And that can set you free from, any anger you have towards them or any resentment you have towards them. And it's not for them. It's not you letting them back into your life or saying that what they did was okay for you, to you, but it sets you free from that pain. So either way, it's up to you what you choose to do with that. But you have become more strong. You have become more discerning of who you let into your life. And you've been focusing on taking action towards bettering your life, building your life the way you want it to be. You've been focusing on getting your life together. These are people's secret thoughts of you. People think you're going to be very lucky in the future. People think that they secretly think that you're stepping into the person you were always meant to be. Your potential, the potential they've always seen in you. And I'm clairvoyantly seeing this image, this vision of you having so much powerful potential within you. People saw that before you even saw it in yourself, and they kicked you to make you not see it yourself, to make you see yourself as small. But Little did you know you were always this powerful being. And now you have stepped into that. And some people are scared of your power secretly, scared of the way you might expand secretly. Yet some people are also clapping for you secretly in the background, knowing that, having this internal knowing that you were always going to be here in the future. They always saw this potential in the future, and they're proud of you. So even if you don't feel like you've grown that much, even if you look at yourself right now and you're like, I don't really feel that powerful, I don't really feel like I've grown that much, you're on the way there. Growth is something that happens naturally. Like when you look at a tree growing, it doesn't always see its own growth. But once it reaches higher heights, it starts to see, whoa, I used to be at the bottom here, now I'm at the top. So I'm seeing a metaphor like that. People's secret thoughts of you are that you are an unstoppable force of nature. You have built confidence within yourself. You have become more assured, self-assured, where nobody can tell you that you can't do anything. You have this belief in yourself and your dreams, your goals, your desires, the things you want to create for yourself, the things you want to manifest. And you are going to expand towards that. And that is people's secret thoughts of you. They are very shocked at how you have built confidence in yourself when others tried to break you down or make you feel small. And you're not feeling small anymore. And you're realizing that there are no right or wrong decisions. It's just about following your passion and following that sense of fire within you. Letting that fire fuel you towards your potential. Okay? And that's what people are saying in you. And that's their secret thoughts of you right now. So let's take a look at your tarot cards now. So I'm hearing the word enlightenment and mastery. Some of you are mastering something, a skill, a talent, polishing it up into something better, into something more. Some of you are mastering something within your evolvement, where it's not like a physical thing you're mastering, but more of a spiritual or emotional thing you're mastering, or a mental thing you're mastering. And you are reaching a state of enlightenment, not just spiritually, but also within the things you're good at, within the things you're talented at. Maybe there are certain strengths that you have that people notice that you may not notice within yourself, where people think, wow, this person's really good at this. Why don't they go into this? You know, something along those lines is coming up for me as I'm in your energy. And there's something about you finding the wisdom through things you may be good at, through things you may be passionate at, and forging a path from that. Okay, building something from that. Something that brings you security and independence, I'm hearing. You know, the thing is, growth is not easy. Like I said, you're getting outside of your comfort zone, but people see how much you've grown. People see how much you have changed in a way. Okay, we have the Ten of Cups with Rose Quartz. I felt drawn to using this deck for you. We have the Moon with Moonstone. We have the Eight of Cups with Rhodochrosite. So it's clear that you have walked away from things that don't serve you. It's clear that you have walked away from toxic people, toxic connections. A lot of people tend to hide the feelings they have towards you, not just the thoughts they have, but the feelings they have. Some people may still have feelings for you even after you've walked away from them, where they still miss you with the Ten of Cups and the Eight of Cups here, but they're hiding their feelings with the Moon. Because the Moon, I sometimes see that as a card of feelings, right? So there's something about them still missing you, still feeling like, I've lost somebody that really cared for me, while you're moving on with your life, creating better for yourself. So the Moon is something that's very hidden, mysterious, secretive. That's why I say that. Also, you may also have some people crush on you or want to be friends with you and feel something towards you, but not say it to you. Kind of just go home and regret it and be like, oh, I wish I said something to pile number one. I see that. And I'm hearing from Spirit, a lot of you watching might not believe me when I say that, but think of it like this. You have probably crushed on people secretly. What makes you think people don't crush on you secretly? You know what I mean? So it's also with this 10 of Cups, we see branches like roots coming from her feet, which makes me think there is another confirmation here that you've grown, but also within your relationships. So maybe something within your relationships is changing. What you are willing to accept within your relationships is changing. Maybe you are learning to find and create healthier love for yourself within your friendships, romantic connections, any kind of connection at all. You're letting go of people that are liars, deceivers, manipulators, people that hide things from you. You don't want that in your life. And you're also trusting your intuition when it comes to choosing people in your circle. And again, I feel the throat chakra release. So there's something about people from your past definitely having hidden feelings towards you, still missing you, still wanting to apologize to you, but seeing you move on, seeing you move forward and flourish, bloom. That's what I see. Seeing you create and cultivate self-love for yourself. Definitely. Okay, so let's see what else comes up. We have the 6 of Pentacles. We have the 3 of Pentacles. We have the High Priestess with Labradorite. The Empress with Chrysocolla. So with the Empress here, this definitely confirms what I said about people thinking you're this nurturer, this person with a good heart. You're very romantic in nature. But you also have a strength within you with the Strength card and Carnelian. A lot of people secretly think that you're very attractive and sexy with Carnelian here, because this is a crystal of the sacral chakra, and we have the Queen of Wands at the back of the deck. Again, indicating that you're stepping into your power, your inner fierceness, your inner confidence. But Queen of Wands is also a very sexy energy, right? And the cat family here is showing up. So the cat family represents stepping into our power, stepping into our strength and resilience. Okay, so that may be significant cat-like energy even here. I also feel this pile has had incarnations within Egypt. And also, I'm also feeling Asia. So maybe some of you could live in Egypt or Asia right now or have had incarnations there. There's also something about the food you've made for people where people really enjoy your food. They go home feeling like you really put love in the food, because I'm seeing SpongeBob clairvoyantly where he says like the secret ingredient to the Krabby Patties is love. So you really put love into your food. When people eat it, they go home feeling like, oh, that food was so delicious. If you've ever cooked for anybody, of course. With the High Priestess here, this is definitely my intuitive pile as well as moon. I do sense that you sense when people have secret thoughts of you, but they're not sharing it with you. So let's say you're in a conversation with somebody and you sense that this person is thinking something, but they're not telling you what they're thinking. And it just becomes a weird vibe where you sense that they want to say something to you or they're thinking something, but they're hiding it. You sense it. So trust your intuition. Either you feel it, you just think it, or you just know, or you can see it in their eyes. Whatever it is, trust your intuition because it's correct. People have the secret thought of you that you've had a glow up recently. You've become more attractive physically, but also energetically. And there's also something about you not giving away your power to people that make you feel powerless as well. There's also something about you kind of like letting out your peacock feathers, letting yourself shine. And there's something about you giving energy towards what is important to you, towards the things you want to grow in your life. So you're no longer paying time and attention to things that, take away from you, but rather things that give to the life you want to live, things that are aligned to you, if that makes sense. The Three of Pentacles here also tells me you could have co-workers or people you work with, clients, whatever it is. This has to do with work or school. Having certain secret thoughts about your work that they're not sharing. But with the Empress, I feel like it's good thoughts, because the Empress is a card of abundance. And here we see a plant growing. Sorry for bumping this table. But maybe there's something within your work that's growing, like people can see improvement there with the effort you're putting in with the Six of Pentacles. So this is what I have for you, pile number 1. I really hope this reading resonated with you. These are people's secret thoughts of you. So please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hi there, my pile number 2s. If you chose this rose quartz crystal and the card Divine Love, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at what are people's secret thoughts of you. So please be aware that this is a general reading. Only take what resonates, leave the rest. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, you can find my email address in the description box below. So your card says Pink Amethyst, Soul Star Chakra, and Divine Love. Let's go ahead and shuffle your oracle cards. Let's see what comes up for you. So spirit guides of pile number 2, spirit guides of pile 2. What are people's secret thoughts of them? So we have Moss Agate with the heart chakra and intention. I mean, you have the heart chakra, Divine Love. Wow. Okay, then we also have Citrine, the Sun, and Clarity. Okay, so what I'm feeling from your pile initially is you could be in a divine union with somebody. You could be in a connection with somebody. And if you're single watching this, then I'll also give another message I see. Just bear with me. So if you are in a relationship right now, people could think certain secret thoughts about your relationship. But I do think there are good thoughts here with the heart chakra. There are thoughts like, you know, these two people seem like they really love each other. It seems like they really care about each other, like they just have good intentions towards each other. And it seems like they're very happy in this connection, like they fulfill each other and, you know, bring out the best in each other is what I'm hearing. It also seems like a healthy connection to others from the outside. And it seems like even when you have challenges or ups and downs in this connection, it seems stable, where it seems like you two can overcome any sort of challenge together and persevere within your connection, because this card is at the back of the deck. So what I'm seeing here as well, if you are single, is people could have certain thoughts about wanting to date you. But even if you're in a relationship, you know, people could still crush on you or want to date you or have romantic feelings towards you, but keep it to themselves and hide it. That is something I definitely see. And the reason for that is because you are somebody with a really huge heart. You seem like somebody that always loves from this soulful type of love type of way. Some of you may have Pisces Venus, Cancer Venus, Scorpio Venus, or Libra Venus. And there's something about you just loving from this like very spiritual type of love place, where you're not just loving people for their look or for the superficial things within them. You're loving them, for who they are on a soul level. And you know, even if you're not around certain people and you don't necessarily show love to them, they can see these sides of your personality, which makes them want to date you. They also think that you're trustworthy and that you're somebody that they can have a beautiful, healthy connection with. But oftentimes they hide their feelings because some of them want to take it slow with you and be your friend first with the Sun. Some of them first want to find clarity from you about how you feel about them. So before they tell you how they feel about you and make a decision to open up what's really going on, what's really hidden behind the surface here in terms of their feelings, they're first gonna try to see if you're interested in them. They're first gonna try to see if you make the first move. Before they make a decision and pour their heart out to you, they first want to see how you feel about them. So that's one thing I do see. And a lot of people have good intentions towards you, really like you with the heart chakra, really think good thoughts about you. And the reason why I say this is because you are in your heart space. You move through your heart. You have a very big heart. You have a lot of empathy for others. And you feel deeply for others, where you wouldn't hurt a person because you know what it feels like to be hurt. You have empathy for people. You know, when somebody comes to you with their pain in their heart, I bet this pile has had a lot of people come up to you and tell you about their pains, their traumas, the things they've been through in life, their life experiences, and you've only shown them love and wisdom, and you've held space for them, trying to help them get out of that low place. And because you are so much within your heart space, you're not attracting negative people your way. When you're putting the vibration of love out in there to the universe, you're not going to attract negative people. So if a lot of you are thinking, well, this sounds too good to be true, that a lot of people have secret thoughts that are good towards me, then I think you need to change your mindset around this, because you are attracting good thoughts of others towards you, if that makes sense, by being in your heart space. And this is a good sign that you don't have any fake or toxic people around you, okay? So I think there are a lot of good thoughts coming through here. What else is coming through? A lot of people feel happy in your presence. I think you bring more so feelings towards people than thoughts. So I'm also seeing secret feelings like, oh, this person feels so happy with you. They feel so joyful to be around you. Maybe you make them laugh, they find you funny. Maybe they find you to be fun to be around with the sun. You know, those are certain feelings and thoughts that are secret that people have about you. There's also something about people feeling loved when they're around you. And I think I'm more so picking up on people that are closer to you now, where they feel loved by you. So, you know, let's say you have friends, let's say you have people in your life, they do feel loved by you. And there's also something about you being very wise, you being very intuitive. So when you share wisdom with others, when you share advice with others, they always feel like they leave with clarity. They come to you feeling clueless, but they leave with clarity. That's what I'm hearing from spirit. I am also seeing Venusian energy with this pile. So people secretly think that you're very beautiful inside and out. And I don't want to just mention physical beauty, because like I said, you have a beautiful personality too that people see. People secretly think that you're that type of person that deeply cares for others. So, you know, like let's say your best friend got hurt in a relationship. Let's say their boyfriend or girlfriend cheated on them. It's like you would cry with them. Like that's the kind of energy people feel from you. There could also be a lot of earth signs watching. And there is something about you being very stable within your sense of self. There's also something about you persevering when things get hard. I feel like you have gone through challenging experiences in your life, but it's what has shaped you into the person you are today. It has given you more insight and wisdom. People often wonder where this wisdom comes from, how you just know what to say to people to make them feel better, to make them feel uplifted, to help them have clarity. Maybe even sometimes you'll say something to a person where, let's say they don't know what to do within their career, and you say something like, oh, I think you should do this, and then they do it and it's successful. That's something I see too that happens with you. Or let's say you just follow your intuition and you are moving towards something within your career, and you cultivate a certain idea that you have, and it turns out successful from just following your intuition, where people wonder, how does pile number 2 just know these things? How do they know what steps to take? How do they know that this is going to be successful? How do they know? And it's your intuition that's coming through here quite strongly. It's like you're connected to source energy, and source gives you those ideas, source gives you those dreams, those things you're meant to be doing and putting out into the world. And it has to do with your divine purpose. This is a very spiritual pile, which is why the messages are coming out like this. And it's what you're meant to be creating here within your physical reality. So it's like you're meant to take those ideas, those concepts, that wisdom, whatever it is from the higher realms, and make it into something physical here on earth, like writing a book or, making content. Something about that, something about your purpose is coming through. When you're taking ideas and concepts from the higher realms and turning it into something physical that other people can see. Okay, so that's what people have of their secret thoughts of you. Like, how does this person just know how to do this? How does this person just always do something and it's always good? It always has good results, There's also people thinking that lately you seem very happy with life, with the sun here. And they're wondering what you did to bring that experience in for you. I'm hearing, what's your secret? So people want to know what your secret is to having this life you have right now. Okay. Let's go ahead and get your tarot cards. Lately, you also seem more energized, is what Spirit is telling me, and people are wondering what you're doing to make this change. People could also secretly notice the car you drive. People could also secretly notice your spiritual and mystical nature, and they could also secretly think that you have like this very boho hippie vibe. Whether you do or not, that's what they secretly think. Also, there are secret thoughts of people thinking, lately you seem healthier. Like there's a glow to you. A healthy vibe you're giving off. So that's either maybe being more emotionally healthy, mentally healthier, physically healthier, if you've been working on your physical health. But there's something about that coming through. If you've ever doubted yourself in the past, there's something about people not seeing that. There's something about people seeing what is special within you, even if you don't see it within yourself. Because when I look at this kind of thing here, it looks like a geode, but I don't really know what crystal that is. It says pink amethyst, but I've never had that. But anyways, what I want to say from this is it reminds me of something I used to say in my readings, where it's like sometimes we just think of ourselves as a rock. We think there's nothing special about us. We're just a human being. We're just a speck of dust on the earth. And then other people see something special within us that we don't see. They see a geode within us. They crack us open and they see this geode within us. And after all, we were not just a rock. So there's something about people seeing what is special within you, even if you may not see it yourself. And that is their secret thoughts of you. There is Queen, King energy showing up within this pile, regal energy. We have the King of Pentacles in the reverse. You're stepping into your divine energy is what I'm hearing. Divine feminine or divine masculine energy. We have the Empress in the reverse. We have the Three of Pentacles. And we have Temperance reversed, as well as the Three of Cups reversed. Okay, so people's secret thoughts of you. You may have cut out a lot of toxic habits from your life, toxic people, negative thinking. You may have cut out somebody from your life that wasn't treating you right. I see some of you went through something in your life where you were in a third-party connection, where somebody made you feel very insecure with the Empress reversed. So either for some of you, you were dating somebody that made you feel very insecure by always going to other people or just making you not feel good enough. This person was very toxic, or for others of you, this was a fake friend or fake friends or fake people around you that always made you feel insecure and always made you doubt yourself. But you've cut that out, or it was a part of you. If it wasn't people, it's like a different part of you that was making you insecure, making you doubt yourself. but you've cut that out here with scissors. I'm seeing cord cutting too. Or like here with cutting of the string, it's making me think of like the string being your fate, because these are the 3 fates. And it's making me think of cutting out karma, cutting out. Okay, so what Spirit is showing me, just bear with me as I try to explain it, because Spirit is showing me it visually, not in words. So imagine we have a portal over here. We have a portal over here. 2 of these portals are our future, depending on the action and choices we make. This portal on this side is more of a negative outcome if we choose these actions. This fate on this side is more of a positive outcome if we choose these actions. You cut out this negative outcome from your reality by cutting out these negative actions. I hope that makes sense. And with the third eyes here, it's making me think of maybe you got a wake-up call, or you just like something told you to cut these bad habits or cut these bad people out of your life because it's not serving you in the long run. It's not serving your fate. It's not serving your purpose. It's not who you're meant to become, you know? So people are seeing that. They're secretly noticing that. Secretly thinking thoughts of that. Like, how did this person make such a huge change? There is something about them looking at their own lives and the things that they struggle with, the things that they're finding challenging. And they're seeing you just snip that out of your life so quickly. And they're like, how did they do this? It didn't even take long for them with Temperance Reverse. You didn't even have to wait that long to cut these things out. Maybe to you it took long, but to these other people, it's like they saw you cut this out in a short span of time. And that's how I'm reading this energy. We also have the King of Wands. And we have the 6 of Pentacles. I feel like a lot of eyes are on you, and you do notice it, but I don't feel like you like attention that much, or sometimes some of you are like shy receiving attention from others. But there is something about people noticing you more than you realize. Some of you may go out into public and may almost feel invisible, but you're not invisible. Like, people notice you. People look at you. People have secret thoughts of you. There's something about you building the sense of belief within yourself, within the things you can achieve. With the King of Pentacles reverse, maybe in the past you had this bad habit of telling yourself, I can't achieve this. I can't do this. But with the King of Wands, it seems like you're stepping into this leadership energy, the sense of confidence and passion for the things you want to do, where you're cutting out those negative thoughts and changing your mindset around this, choosing what thoughts you give energy to with the 6 of Pentacles, choosing to take action towards the things you want rather than just overthink and procrastinate or hold yourself back, right? Maybe even people in your career are noticing these things, coworkers, clients, people you go to school with, if you're in school. People can see the effort you're putting into your work or the things you want to achieve for yourself. That's what I'm seeing. And they're noticing that, and they're thinking secret thoughts around, wow, this person has really made a change here. I wonder what they did to sort of like be able to put themselves out there, because they saw before that they were holding themselves back. I wonder what change they made in their mindset to be able to do this. And there is a feeling of inspiration here. People seeing you secretly as inspirational, but not telling you. So some people even may feel inspired by you and make certain choices and decisions because they feel inspired by you, but not tell you. So that's something I see here. Also, the advice and wisdom you've given people has helped their lives turn out different, but in a good way. And they haven't told you about it, but they secretly feel grateful for that. So this is what I have for you. I really hope this reading resonated with you. These are people's secret thoughts of you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hi there, my pal number threes. If you chose this Malachite crystal and the Cognisance card, then this is your reading. We're going to be taking a look at what are people's secret thoughts of you. Please be aware that this is a general reading, so only take what resonates, leave the rest. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, please find my email address in the description box below. So your card says Emerald, Mercury, and Cognisance. So Mercury here is a planet of communication. And also the mind. So people have secret thoughts about your communication style, the way you communicate, your tone of communication, the words you're using, your opinions, your mindset, all of that. And that could be different for all of you. So I can't tell you exactly what it is for all of you. There's so many of you watching, but look into the way you're communicating with people, the words you're using, all of that. And there are secret thoughts around that. But also what this Mercury card tells me is that different people have different secret thoughts. You know, I could communicate to you in this way with my tone and voice, and depending on a person's perception, you're all going to perceive it differently, right? So all their secret thoughts are different, but it's about your communication and your mindset and, you know, the way you think. Okay, so there's something about that coming through. You could also look into your Mercury sign, your Mercury placement, the planet it's in. I mean, the sign it's in, but also the house it's in, so that you can see how people perceive your communication style and think of your mind. Okay, so that's something I would recommend. We have South Node in the reverse with boundaries at Labradite. And we have Larimar with Neptune and perspective. So this perspective card kind of confirms what I said, how, you know, even if you speak in a certain way, there are always going to be people that think different things based on their own perception of the world and you. Okay, so don't always take it personal, or don't always think too much about what other people could think, because everybody thinks and perceives things differently, depending on the way they were raised, depending on their outlook of life, depending on, you know, their opinions and who they are deep down, you know. And if somebody disagrees with something you're putting out, it may just be that their perception is different than yours, you know, because the truth is subjective. Let me give an example to this. So let's say you're scrolling on Instagram and somebody's like, bananas are bad for you because of this, this, this. And then you scroll. And then somebody else says, bananas are good for you because of this, this, this. Both of those could be true, just depending on the way we perceive it. Okay, so what I want to say here is to not think too deeply into other people's thoughts, because it all depends on their own perspective. So with Mercury here, I can see that you're very intelligent. Neptune, you're very wise. You're a very wise communicator, and there's something about you giving great advice, giving your wisdom to people. I feel like you're claircognizant. All my piles today are quite spiritual, which is quite cool. Or quite intuitive, but your gift is claircognizance, which means that you just know things. Like, let's say you're talking to a person and you just know that maybe they'd be good at this, and you recommend they try this, and they go and try it and they're good at it. Or let's say you're talking to a person and you just know that this person is a red flag, and later on they turn out to be a red flag. There's something about people secretly thinking, how the F do you just know these things? Sorry for me saying how the F, but that's how I'm hearing it in my mind, because they're so shocked that, how do you just know? How? Like, with Neptune, I'm hearing you're very magical. Where sometimes people are even scared of your gift. Because how do you just know? Okay, so I'm seeing that. Also, there's something about people thinking you have a very high perspective of the world. There's something about you having a very spiritual perspective of things, and people feeling as if they learn from you very quickly whenever they're around you. However, when you are around people with opposing views, they could quickly end up disliking you or quickly end up trying to create a debate or argument with you because they have a different perspective or opinion than you. Don't get caught up or swept up in this, because we are all allowed to have our different opinions, and you don't have to sway or change that person's opinion. It is 12:12 on the clock and we have 22 here. The number 2 may be significant, and we also have 21 here. Okay, so there's something about people thinking that you're a very sweet person. This is what they think secretly. But they may also think that you are learning to overcome people-pleasing habits. You're learning to speak your truth with your chest and not back down from what you're saying. So let's say you tell somebody, listen, I don't like the way you said this to me. You're learning to say it in a way that is assertive and not like you're pleasing that person. So with boundaries reversed, you're learning to set boundaries for yourself, but you may not have always had boundaries up. You may have not learned about boundaries from a young age, or due to your experiences, your emotional experiences, you may have been taught that subconsciously boundaries were bad. Speaking my truth is bad. Like, I'm not allowed to do this, or I'm not safe to do this, or whatever it is. It's about looking into the subconscious mind and why we don't feel safe speaking up for ourselves, or we don't feel we can speak up for ourselves. So sometimes it's about, feeling like the other person won't like us. Sometimes it's about feeling like, oh, what if we create a fight? I don't want to create drama. So it's about looking into why we are feeling like we can't set boundaries or speak our truth. And that is the root reason behind it, the feeling behind it. Okay. But maybe you are working on this. Maybe you're learning to understand this side of you better. You're learning to become more comfortable with, okay, sometimes I can create conflict, because Mars is at the back of the deck. Conflict is not always bad. So it's about looking at it from a different perspective, because sometimes we need to have a conflict with somebody before we can come to a resolution, before we can bring love back to that conversation or situation or discussion. But sometimes sweeping things under the rug creates more tension in that connection than actually having that conflict, if that makes sense. It's all about the way we perceive it. I don't want to go too off topic, but what I basically see here is some people may not think that you have strong boundaries up for yourself, may think that you need to become more comfortable with almost like fighting with people. But I'm not saying to go fight with people and cause drama unnecessarily, but it's like sometimes you need to be more okay with speaking your truth. And I totally get this, because I struggle with this myself. I still struggle with it to this day. So I get it. I completely get it. But I think you are working on it, because with Neptune here, I feel like I'm hearing you're self-aware. With Mercury too, you're self-aware. You see it in yourself and you are working on it. You are working on, understanding why it's there in the first place so that you can combat that problem. Because some people feel like you're too sweet, you're too nice, you're too loving to people that sometimes don't deserve it. Because with Mars at the back of the deck, some people just... I'm not saying that you shouldn't be nice or loving, but some people secretly think that some people around you don't deserve that niceness that you're giving out. So Spirit is showing me a vision of somebody that did something to us or said something wrong to us. And maybe in that moment, for them to see, for them to have the self-awareness that they are wrong, that they shouldn't treat people like that. Let's say I snap at that person in that moment and I'm like screaming at them, and it seems really bad because I'm screaming at them. I'm not saying you should go scream at people. It seems really bad in that moment, but if we look at it from another perspective, maybe that person has been you know, pushing people's buttons for the longest time and has been toxic for the longest time. And nobody has stood up to this person, so they never knew they were doing anything wrong in the first place. And now this person loses their cool and their temper at them. And they're like, oh gosh, like if I treat people like this, people are gonna fight with me and get angry at me. So I shouldn't treat people like this. Sometimes people need harsh treatment to see that their behavior is not okay. So again, I'm not saying we should go shout at people or treat people in a toxic, negative way, but sometimes people need you to set a boundary with them, for you to speak your truth, even if it's coming from a place of anger, so that you can stand up for yourself, so that they can see what they're doing is wrong. And it's like people have a secret thought of you that it's like maybe you're afraid of conflict. And I totally get it. Again, I've been here. I'm still here. I'm still learning from this. I get it. But these are people's secret thoughts. I'm going to be honest with what I see. So with Mercury here, I think you are learning to speak your truth. I think you are learning to become more aware of when you let people maybe walk all over you, or when you're not standing up for yourself. And with the South Node here, it's like you're getting outside of your comfort zone, right? But it's very hard to get outside of your comfort zone because let's say the way we were raised was it felt safe to not speak up to for ourselves, because when we speak up for ourselves, maybe it created tension and it created drama and it created all of this. And now we feel more safe not speaking up for ourselves than speaking up for ourselves and creating drama and tension. So that's an example of the energy where sometimes we go back to a familiar place that's not always good for us. And that's what the South Node sometimes represents to me. Going to a place that's familiar to us but not always healthy to us. So that's what I see you breaking out of and breaking free from, because I'm hearing the song Break Free from Ariana Grande. So let's go ahead and pull your tarot cards. I feel like using the Lightseers Tarot for you. So Spirit Guides of pile number 3. Spirit Guides of pile number 3. What are people's secret thoughts of them? We have the 9 of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, so it's like you don't want to create problems with people with the 9 of Wands reverse. King of Swords. The 8 of Cups. The Knight of Cups. So there's something about people secretly thinking that you don't like drama, you don't like to create problems. And maybe that's your way of communicating and dealing with it. And that's also okay. Like, you know, sometimes we don't need to give people reactions. It's about finding a balance here where, how do I say this? Sometimes people need a reaction. Sometimes we need to stand up for ourselves, because if we don't, that person doesn't respect us, and that person's going to do it over and over and over again, especially if it is a pattern of theirs. If we don't stand up for ourselves, it can almost teach them subconsciously that we can be walked all over. But in some situations, it's best to just walk away and not cause a fight or a problem, especially if it's like with a stranger, or if it's with somebody you know. They're just trying to pick a fight with you or something, you know what I mean? It's about discerning and using your intuition, your claircognizance of what does this moment need right now? Does it need for me to stand up or for me to walk away from it? But I think what people secretly think about your communication style is you'd rather have peace in your connections and love in your connections, and there is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being a loving person. That's an amazing trait to have. And I think you love from this higher place. You have a really good heart, pile number 3. And you don't like conflict or drama or any of that. You'd rather walk away from it than involve yourself in it. But I think you are learning to create balance here, a harmony here, where you also learn to stand up for yourself in situations where it is needed. Okay, so that's something I see. We have the King of Cups. I think you're learning that it's not your responsibility to sort of tend to other people's emotions. So let's say you say something to a friend, for example, and this friend needs the truthful perspective because maybe they're making a decision that's going to F up their whole lives. Are we just going to be quiet and not tell that friend that they're ruining their lives? Or are we going to tell them and potentially let that friend get mad at us, but actually save that friend in the end? So you're learning that people's emotions are not your responsibility. And that's what people are secretly thinking of you, that you're learning that you're not in control of other people's emotions. And you can say one thing to a person and they might get mad, or they might be thankful, they might be grateful. We can never, even if we're intuitive, we can never control another person's emotions. We can never control how another person reacts. And that's just what's the truth. So we have the Fool and we have the Moon in the reverse. So it's like you're having a change here. You're stepping into a new energy. And that's what people are secretly thinking of you, where you're not letting people betray you or hurt you or treat you badly and just get away with it, with the Five of Swords at the back of the deck. And maybe that's why boundaries came out reverse, because you're becoming more stronger in speaking your truth with Mercury here. And you want a new beginning where you no longer allow people like that in your life. You know what I mean? And with the Moon reverse, it's like you're learning to care less, if that makes sense, about other people's emotions. And I don't mean that in a bad or selfish or negative way. But sometimes when we are people pleasing, we care too much about the other person's emotions. Oh, I shouldn't say this because this other person is going to get mad at me. But what if they don't end up getting mad at me? You know what I mean? Or I shouldn't do this because I might step on this person's toes. You know, you're learning to not care so much about what other people feel. And I feel like you're very empathetic as a person. You may relate to pile number 2. You're very empathetic as a person, but sometimes you can be a little bit too empathetic to people that don't deserve your empathy. And that may sound mean, but I feel like you're stepping into your villain era, but this villain era is not even villain era. It's like you're just setting boundaries for yourself, if that makes sense. So this is what I have for you, pile number 3. People's secret thoughts are revolving around this. That's happening in your life, this change, this new energy you're stepping into. So I really hope this reading resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.